Hi everyone. I'm going to talk about the review paper, which is titled as Analysis of Bullwhip Effect in Two Parallel Supply Chain with Interacting Price and Sensitive Demand. And I'll say about the problem description. And Bullwhip effect in two parallel supply chain with interacting price sensitive demand for a single product is analyzed in this paper. And both the supply chain is considered as dependent of each other and serves a single product with same or different price. And two products from two supply chain can be substitutable, complementary, and both the supply chain has one manufacturer and one retailer. And in this scenario, how the BW is lessened or amplified based on the interaction between the two supply chain are analyzed. And the importance of the problem is two parallel supply chain has a complex network structure and it has strong interaction for parallel interacting demand streams due to market settings. And based on the past records, managers were overstating bullwhip effect by ignoring the interaction between supply chains. And also, BWE should be measured and maintained to manage order up to inventory. And the contribution of the paper is the different factors impacting the BWE was investigated in this paper. And the effect of following parameters were analyzed. Two models were developed in the paper. Those are interacting demand model and replenishment model based on order up to inventory and MMSC forecasting technique. And the following assumptions are done in the paper. Those are both the retailers are using optimal order to inventory policy, and both the retailers are using optimal minimum mean squared error forecasting methodology. First order regressive demands was used to identify the BWE during analysis, and two retailers were considered to be selling in a perfectly competing market setting. And these are the two mathematical model which has been created in the paper. Those are interacting demand model and replenishment model. And in the interacting demand model, DTI and PTA are the customer demand and the market price faced by retailer I at period T. And also A1, A2 are constant intercepts that determine the means of GT1 and DT2. B11 and B21 are the self-acting price sensitive coefficients and are non-negative. B12 and B2 are the interacting price sensitive coefficients. Epsilon T1 and epsilon T2 are normally distributed demand shocks with means of 0 and variances of sigma 1 square and sigma T2 square. Mu1 and mu2 are non-negative constants that determine the mean of the price. Rho1 and rho2 are the price correlation coefficients. Epsilon T1 and epsilon T2 are normally distributed price shocks with means of 0. And the replenishment model as says about like we adopt the following timing of events during the replenishment period, and at the end of time period t minus 1, the retailer observes that the consumer demand dt minus 1 I calculates its order up to level YTY for the period t, and also it places an order of quantity with the manufacturer at the beginning of the period t according to its current inventory level. After the lead time and at the beginning of the period, the retailer receives the product from manufacturer and the excess demand is back ordered. And few findings have been these are the few findings from the paper. That is, they have created a theorem, and based on the theorem, they are calculating the BW as the ratio of variance of each retailer's order quantity and its customer demand. Based on the theorem, it was found that two parallel supply chain have interactions due to product substitutability or complementary. And in the demand function model, the external demand for a single product depends on its own price and also the price of the other product. And if self BW measure is greater than 1, then BW always exists in single class. And if only the self-acting price sensitive coefficients exist, then the BW always exists. And if only the interacting price sensitive demand coefficients is introduced incrementally, then BW always exists. And these are the analysis. For this analysis, they have these are the settings that are being used. And when B12 is non-negative, that is interacting price sensitive coefficients is non-negative, the area of BW self is decreased, and BW is negative, it is increased. And if the two supply chains are partners, then they're more complementary. The products and the interaction will retain this effect. And a novel about this research is two parallel supply chain interactions due to substitutability may increase or decrease the BWE. In case of low marginal rate of substitutions, the Bullwhip effect will decrease. And also the complementary BWE effect will get decreased when the marginal rate of complementary is high. Bullwhip effect can be completely dampened when two parallel supply chain products are substitutable, and their interactions will eliminate the bullwhip effect in supply chain. And the criticism is the author didn't talk about the method to quantify the interaction impacts between two supply chains on the inventory and cost. Only two types of inventory policies were studied in the investigation, so other types of policies can be studied to get the optimal solutions. Also, there is a possibility of extending chain to chain interaction on downstream level. These are the references. Thank you for watching the video.